You know, the main question, Donna, do you
What?
have the rights to that music? What?
I don't. I think it's one of those not really a music.
Oh, so it's public domain
Yeah.
music. It is all rights music you can just use. Oh, because I get a tear in my eye every time I.
It's the music. It really is, and it's also the fact that I think a lot of people probably don't understand that there's a musician somewhere who has a tear in his eye too, because he's not getting paid for that.
Yes, because he's not getting paid for that right now.
No.
Although, hey, that reminds me.
So awesome.
So later on, I'm gonna play an ad for my little Christmas song. But I got a thing today that said last Christmas I'd sent this thing out to a company, the song that plays Christmas music in grocery stores, and I thought maybe they'll play it in grocery stores. So I found out this week that they did play 40 spins last year somewhere in the world in grocery stores, and guess how much I got paid for that?
How much?
$80,000.
Half a cent. 40 plays, less than 1 penny. So hopefully this year we'll get 80 plays and it'll be a penny and a half.
Yeah, that'd be great if you could make like a penny and a half. Talk about it. Yeah.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 1,000 Marriage Questions. We want to start out first by saying Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there, and especially the ones who are married and your family is with you or you have to be away from your family. I've always said, too, that we celebrate veterans, stuff like that, but realize, folks, it's not every step of being a person in the military isn't some sort of struggle every day. My nephew and his wife love where they are in Hawaii. He's in the Navy. They've got a baby. He loves his job. So you can join the military and have an incredible career in life. It's not because some people feel like every day is war or something, and that's not true. The military is an amazing career, and especially for married people, and they really help you out. So please do that. So not Joe and I, we didn't join, but
nope, never joined. My father he was Navy, and he was actually fought in World War II. That's how old I really am.
Wow, you're like 73. That's
I
amazing.
am. It's very funny. Yeah. I'm starting to look it though. I can feel it. No, he did. He fought in World War II. I was a mistake. My sister is 72. So
you really have a sister that's 72?
Yes.
Wow.
You were a whoops.
I was definitely a whoops. Definitely a whoops.
Wow,
so
that is amazing. And your parents, so your dad has passed, obviously.
Yeah, my dad has passed. He passed quite a few years ago, and but he fought in World War II. Fought in Guam. He was in
your
the
mom
Navy.
Younger?
Yes, much younger. Much just like my wife is much younger. So
than you.
Yeah.
Then your wife is
Than me.
wife's 29, and you're
right. Yeah, I wish.
7.
I wish. I can't.
Yeah.
No, she's younger than him.
I wrote a joke this week. Okay, so I have a marriage joke that's not me. And we'll get on topic soon, folks. So, but if we're talking about marriage, I have a marriage joke that's not me. I say, I will never look at another woman because every time I even think of looking at another woman, I take out my wallet, open it up, pull out the picture of my house.
Good joke. Good joke.
Good joke, but it's not me because I don't care about a house. I could lose everything if my wife and I, family, if we're healthy and fine. I don't care. If my wife wanted to leave me, she could have the house. She could have everything because I probably screwed up.
Yeah.
So the joke's not me. And then people are telling me like, what happens, all these guys that get rid of their wives for a younger woman. And I thought the other day, I said, I would never want that because I've already gone through with one woman menopause. It's now over.
Yep.
She's healthy, happy. She's in good shape. You think I'd want to do that again?
Right.
That's
right.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a lot invested in this relationship. That's what when they say that's a common thing. So you've got a lot invested in that relationship. It's like, oh, you have no idea, on both sides. The woman can say the same thing. It's like, oh, do I really want to have to go ahead and train another man?
That's right.
For the women, that's all the training.
Right. It's all the training. Yeah.
And I'm not going through that twice. And now we're on the good end of it. So why would I do that?
Exactly.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you may not know this. Last week we pulled a question and neither Joe nor Donna remember the question. So here it is. The question was, wow. Oh, I forgot it too. Should you stay married after your spouse cheats?
Oh, that's We did start to answer that one.
Should you stay married after your spouse cheats? Donna, you speak wisely on this for a minute.
So this, obviously I've been doing this a long time. So cheating and infidelity has come across this path of being a therapist for couples. So I would say, as the therapist, if really cheating is a symptom of an unhealthy relationship, typically there's other stuff going on that kind of developed into that. So typically, and if this is going to be hard for folks, both people would have to work on something to move forward. Both people would have to look at how they contributed to the unhealthiness of the relationship in order to move forward.
Right.
The person who cheated I call this, you have to own the process, not just the behavior. You can't just go, oh, my bad, I cheated. Anywho, let's move on. You have to own all this stuff that even led you in that direction. You have to understand the process that got you there, and you have to work on whatever factors those are that led to you making that kind of decision. So getting past it, it's a lot of work, but I have seen couples on the other side of infidelity have a much, much healthier and more satisfying relationship because it called attention to how crappy their relationship was.
Yeah. I've had that. I've come across that too with people who've, I know who have had that situation where it's like, okay, I was caught and what are we going to do? And the commitment afterwards that followed that actually strengthened the relationship. And they've gone on to be a great couple, and on the other side there's some other people who there's some people who just have problems. You know what I mean? Some people just have problems and they can't get over it. And so that's not going to work. But I think there's also, denial. You can also just go straight, just don't admit it and never talk about it. There's always that.
People use that strategy. Deny everything.
Sure. That's a good idea.
And the people that never think it's ever that big a deal. Hey man, it's not about you, man. It's about I'm just getting this on the side.
It meant nothing.
It meant nothing. That's a good one. Oh, honey, it meant nothing.
Well, I remember
I was drunk.
I remember a man who will not be named who told me, he goes, hey, men of my race they were talking about. Well, it was of my origin.
You're gonna get racial now. Way to go, Brad.
Get racial because he said
my culture.
It wasn't a race. It was more like an origin. So anyway, from where
I know what you're saying.
Where we're from, the men gotta have it, and if she ain't gonna give it, we deserve to get it somewhere else. And
something tells me he's not still happily married or ever was, for that matter.
He's divorced. Oh my God.
Yeah, hard to believe.
He's been alone for 40 years now. but he still never got the concept.
Yeah.
Dignity, respect, because he's got to have it. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, you got to get it, right? You got to get it. Yeah.
So. I don't need it. I don't have to have it.
I haven't had it in a long time.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't even know what it is anymore.
Well, there we go. Yeah, so.
I'm just kidding. By the way, I forgot to play the opening. 1,000 Questions is an entertaining discussion of marriage. We aren't telling you to do or feel or change anything about your life. Really, just listen and enjoy. And if you need real help, find a professional for your specific problem. We don't know you. How could we speak to your deal? Okay, have fun. That reminds me to mention something about this and ask something. I'm always interested in people who, when the wife finds out, and I'm just going to go with wife here, finds out who he cheated with. And is it interesting sometimes when a guy will pick someone that is a lot less attractive and just a total train, and the wife's like, wait, you're going to cheat on me? And that's who you're going to pick? That it's not always about because she's hot and young or stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing is yeah, if it ever gets to the point where you find out your spouse has been cheating and your response is, what did they look like? You got a world of problems to deal with right there,
If that's your primary concern.
Right. Yeah, that's a different story. But it makes me feel sorry for people like Colin Jost, because he's got nowhere else to go.
That's right. Yes,
he can't.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a lot
to be married to someone super hot or something.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson. You may have heard of her.
He just married Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, he married her a couple weeks ago.
The big thing is he's nobody and she's everything, and he's. But
you don't know him. You can't speak to that, Brad.
For being a really nice, mildly famous guy, I think someone like that is looking for someone who's famous enough but not too famous.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it's hard, I think, for famous people.
2 words: Lyle Lovett. Okay, we're done right there.
Well,
right.
Who's he married to?
He was married to Julia Roberts.
He was. That didn't go well. Well, Donna,
Billy Joel. I can keep going. You want me to do this?
Well, no, Billy Joel is a troll.
He was married to Christy Brinkley.
Oh, every woman. He's married to like a 29-year-old now, and they have 2 kids. I mean,
I can't believe I never learned how to play a piano.
And you've got one right behind you, a beautiful piano. Right.
I know that one. It's just for that one's back there, just for show.
Yeah, I know.
I actually had that. I actually paid some people to move it into my pad here right before the show. Just
to your pad,
made of cardboard. So. But if we're going to discuss famous marriages, I do feel for like really famous, especially women who are single, because. Yeah. It is hard to find, because if you do find somebody super famous, their ego is so big that it never goes well. But if
they're going to cheat on you anyway.
Yeah. Joe, you'd be good. Like if famous woman Halle Berry was single and you were single.
Yeah,
you'd be good for somebody like that. But she could never date you because it would be so hard on every day.
And if I was married to Halle Berry, I wouldn't care who she cheated. As long as she stayed with me, it'd be fine. Yeah, she can cheat on anybody.
Really?
Cheat with anybody she wants.
I don't care who. No, so. I would want a real relationship. So I guess.
Yeah, in all honesty, yeah, of course. That's why we're having a marriage show here, is because we're fairly monogamous people.
Did you say fairly monogamous?
I don't know you. I don't know both. I've never been. I don't know much about the two of you. Yeah, I should not assume.
No.
Well, I was saying we've done this show like 20 times, and now you're thinking, well, you could be cheating.
I don't know. You might be having wild swinger parties at your pad, Brad. Now that your daughter's in college.
Vegas.
5 or 6 times already, and
all right. If you want to, you can use my place. It's right here. It's a perfect place. Right.
I think we'd all agree that I'm the biggest prude on this show, and that Donna is the closest to doing swinger stuff.
No, I am even super duper territorial. I am super territorial.
She is. She's so territorial. She marks her territory. Actually.
That's right.
With post-it notes, in case you were wondering.
Tiger, like how tigers do, like when they just walk by.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Next question.
Too much information.
At what age? I got to watch the clock. We don't have a ton of time here. At what age should the kids be out for good, and how do you make it happen? I'm
That's
of course
a good
not
question.
at to this point yet, but Joe, you are dealing with you.
I got a 21-year-old right now who's still living with us and not going to college, and if we keep pressuring her to do so, and she's not taking the right steps. Well. Things are weird right now. Let's be honest. It's a little.
Yeah, I don't think you can say this in COVID.
Let's talk about under normal circumstances. Yeah. Under normal circumstances, I would say once you've got a career, you should probably get your butt out. Once you can afford to live on your own, you should start to live on your own. You got to be kicked out of the nest. You can't just stay there the whole time and sponge off of mom and dad, especially when dad doesn't have a job. So I'm thinking
you're sponging off of who now, Dad?
Okay, let's not get deep into this, Donna. So but I mean, when they can be an adult, I guess is the answer, don't you think?
But can't you? But wait a minute. So you got a 30-year-old, they can't be an adult. do you just
That's possible. Yeah.
you just toss them out? Is there a
I
point?
think, like,
You're out.
I am on totally a different page.
Let's
Like,
hear it then.
I'm going to say, at what age should you hold your child responsible for their own care? Because if they're in your house, but they're like contributing to rent, paying their own bills, buying their own stuff, like they can be in your house.
Yes.
So
That's true. That's true.
to
Agreed.
me, it's like 16, you either have a job or your school is your job.
Right.
And you're contributing, like, to the, I'm not cleaning up your messes.
The greater good.
Yeah, you're participating in how the house is run.
Right.
So really, I'm at like 16. But if you have a job, you're contributing, you're cleaning up your own messes, and there's room, I don't care. Like, you can stay here all you want. So it's a different thing. It's not in the house. It's responsible for their own care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's it. I guess it's different for different people, because some people enjoy having their kids around, and as long as you've got as long as there's not stress involved with the living situation, I guess it's not that big of a deal.
As long as they're not doing anti how you believe and feel things should be in your house. If you're against them in the same room, not in the same, all those things like we talked about before, then that's fine. Like I always said when my daughter was growing up, I wouldn't mind if she lived here forever, as long as, there's some point she's going to be contributing at some point. Matter of fact, my wife has a friend, never left home, finished college, moved right back into his parents' house, and he was a teacher. He's a school teacher, and he's 55 now. His
holy moly.
Now it's him and his dad living together.
Yeah, because he's not married.
He never got married.
Of course not. Hard to get married when you're living in mom's basement.
Well, to my knowledge, he's never dated anyone.
Okay.
So, and that's fine. Now, I'm not sure I totally want that, but if we had a house that everybody could live in, I wouldn't mind living with a lot of people in my family, as long as we could be separated quite a bit. We'd need pretty separate everything.
Yeah.
Communal living, if we had a big ranch or something.
The other thing about this is you have to have the means. You have to have the means to do everything. You have to have the means to live on your own. And if you can't, then, as long as you're not taking advantage of mom and dad don't mind, then I guess it's okay. All right. But if the question is, when should you kick them out of the nest? I think that's subjective. Don't you?
Yeah. There's too many factors.
Right. Yeah.
It's a whole different story with, are they capable versus have you crippled them and they don't know how to live on their own or take care of themselves? So it's just, you have to look at it at deeper levels. That question can't be just that simple of an answer.
Well, it's been amazing to see the process. Like my daughter comes home end of next week for the semester, and she'll be home for 2 months, then go back to college. But just to see her learning over the last 3 or so years how to just be on her own at college, and then to be so amazed that now she's away. And, I did a joke. I've been doing a joke in my show the last 3 nights I've done shows. I say, we know my daughter's doing well at college because we haven't heard from her in 3 weeks.
That's true.
That's how we know. Yeah. Except I got a text that said money yesterday.
Well, that's.
But it's just because that would never 2-3 years ago, every day there's something going on. There's something we have to do, something she needs. And just to see that slow process makes me feel that the process will continue to the point where we're like, man, I wish she still lived at home. Why is she in DC? You know what I mean? Why is she in this other town?
Right.
With her.
There's a flip side of this too, is the people who are always trying to get their kids to come back.
Yeah.
Because I know people like that as well, who are like, they're so worried that their kid can't live on their own that they're always trying to be like, well, when are you going to come back? When are you going to come home? And the answer is never, really, because once the kids do break out, I know they do come back. Some people do come back, and it's usually because of monetary situation, but it's I got my oldest will never come back, and we've tried seriously when things got bad during this, of course, they lost their job and money was tight. We were like, just come back. Just when your lease is up, come back, live with us, and we'll cut you a deal on the rent. And never did, but they're making do.
Well, and it's interesting that I think about this with like my parents, because I don't obviously live there and haven't forever. That we're just talking about Thanksgiving now, and like I don't think we can come up with
Right.
everything going on. And my parents are in their 80s, and
Yeah.
I don't think they're going anywhere for a while, but still, you miss those times when you can be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I've thought, I wonder what it would be like if we moved up there. You know what I mean? What if we moved up there just to be around more? And there might be a time when I have to do that, when I have to move up there to take care of things that my brothers and sisters aren't doing. So I know. So, okay, well, this one's sad. Let's go on.
Yeah, this really this took a downturn. Let's get something fun. Come on. Let's go back to the one that had the sex toys in it.
Okay. Oh my God. Now this is an awkward one. Why do men always want foreplay? Huh? And then the second is, why can't men stay awake after sex? So, okay.
These are good. Now we're talking.
This is the same person. It's the same thing. Somebody put two questions on.
Okay.
And that obviously is not my handwriting because it's way too good.
Although that's a good question for you. The first one, always. That's not true. Men don't always want foreplay.
And the stereotype is men don't want foreplay at all. They just
I think there's confusion there, like foreplay for him or foreplay for her.
I think they meant foreplay for him, as in a very specific type, which men view as a completely different type of. Men don't view that as foreplay. That's a completely different sex act altogether. Which, by the way, could suffice to just take care of the issue on its own.
But you're talking about the thing that usually a porn starts with. That porn.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. I've never watched porn.
I thought that was prepping.
Fluffing is the term,
fluffing.
actually.
It's called fluffing.
Fluffing.
Yeah. So is this saying like guys, just regular guys, not porn stars, don't need fluffing?
Nah.
Okay. Joe didn't want to answer. The answer is, as you get older, as men get older, and I've discussed this with people, you need more direct stimulation to get to where you want to be.
Yes. Right.
It's not like when I remember, being 25 and you turn over and there's something poking her in the back. And she's going, what is slapping that? So what is that? Get that off of me. So you need more direct stimulation. So that
when a man, you're right. Because when a man's younger, anything, it's like you never know exactly what is going to a strong wind will take care of it. It's like, I'm ready, honey, and it's like you're ready to go. Foreplay not necessary. Let's just get to it.
Yeah.
So I think
older. Are you saying like men prefer foreplay more often as they get older?
No, they need it more often as they get older.
They need more direct stimulation, meaning that once you get going and once you get there, you need to keep going. Like a lot of times you're doing stuff and she'll go, oh, wait, I have to do this for 5 minutes.
Well, you're not
like, well, then we're at square one. You know that. It's not like
you're on a roll. You're on a roll. Don't
we're ready to go. You've got, and another thing too is that we can, if you're doing something in like some sort of position or something, and something starts hurting in your body, that's going to overwhelm your system.
Yeah. That's why it's always good to hydrate before you get into the activity.
A little stretching ahead of time.
Stretching, really good. Yeah,
and then you can make the long haul.
Yeah. So, if you're going to last that 2.5 minutes, you better be in shape. I'll tell you straight up.
That's right. If you're going to make
stamina, come on.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But Joe just said something that's very right, and that is that when you're going fine, and everything's fine, and you stuff like that. But you just can't have these same kind of romantic breaks in between.
Yeah.
But I will say this: when long before I was married, and my wife likes this, I had a girlfriend who couldn't stand the fact that I wanted to do a lot of stuff before we did anything. She goes, why does every time we do anything have to start as a 25-minute massage? And I said, how could you not want me to massage you and oil and just, I like doing that kind of thing. I like to kind of enjoy the whole experience and feet and then get that gets an excitement going for both of us. Oh, she was like, I just don't want to lay here and have you rub my back and arms.
Why didn't you? Boy, that's a
No.
A woman who's ready that quickly. Are you kidding me? To me, most of the time, women take it. It's first of all, it's enjoyable to have some sort of interaction, right, beforehand. And we kind of were taught, that you kind of need some stimulation to get to that point. But some people, I guess, just want to go right to it. Enough with the prep. In my personal experience, I shouldn't be giving up too much, but there's like a ritual you almost have to go through nowadays. And I mean, we have to sign a waiver. There's all sorts of things before we really get into the act itself. So
get all the atmosphere going.
Right. Get your PPP together.
Yeah. When I say music, we typically have to have a band in the bedroom, and then you got to.
That's right.
That's
3-piece at least.
Yeah. So
it'd be nice if it was the Police. That would be nice.
That's not. Yeah.
I'm going to say, as a female, that much prep time would be too much.
Yeah.
25 minutes of prep time, 5 minutes.
It wasn't always.
You got things to do too. 5 minutes. Yeah. That's probably plenty.
Yeah.
We got hormones and things to do too. Like extending the prep period. It just like for a guy, if you wait too long, you get irritated.
Yeah.
Same with a woman. If you extend the prep period.
The window. We've totally strayed off the question, haven't we? Both of them.
No, the question was, why do men always want foreplay? Let's go to the second question. Why can't men stay awake after sex? That's not true. I'm never sleepy after. Never. I've never just fallen.
No, I'm pretty much awake after sex.
That's weird.
Yeah.
No, because then you guys must need better sex. Because I thought it was like you have to have, if you have a really good intimacy moment, you're going to have oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, and you're going to be in a really happy, relaxed place. And that may feel like taking a nappy nap.
But I'm a hyper person anyway.
Yeah.
What happens is it kind of charges me up.
You're like, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm not like that at all. I'm more the sleepy type. I mean, I will definitely. I don't want to get up and run a marathon after doing it, but I'm also still kind of, riding the wave of euphoria, if you will. So it's like, I'm not going to just be like, thanks, honey, roll over and snore. I learned my lesson that I can't do that a long time ago.
And I don't want to get up and walk away either. You know what I mean? I don't want to, I don't mind talking. So,
yeah.
A little talking. Maybe it depends on how tired he is.
The what?
Maybe it depends on how tired he is.
Maybe it's true.
Relaxed, he's like, and down.
Well, but then again, you might want to, whoever asked that question, hey, be proud of yourself on that one because you worn him out. Good job.
Out.
Good job.
Ron Schock. Did you ever know Ron Schock?
I remember Ron Schock.
Greatest guy in the world.
Funny comic.
He always talked about standing up and how men, once you finish, per se, your knees go limp. You go weak.
Yep.
Something happens he goes, honey, you got my knees out from under me. I'm wobbling. And so that's kind of where you get weak, is right there in the knees, which is kind of weird.
Yeah. But that goes with the saying, right? You weak at the knees is like means you love someone.
And I never understand how that happens. You literally, it's hard to describe. You lose the power of being able to stand for a second there. It's really weird. I don't understand how that happens. So, okay. So next, and then we'll play it. Do you want to, well, we can stop. We only have like 4 minutes. Do you want to do, instead, I've got some marriage tips, and with the marriage tips, we can discuss how they really work, and then we can kill that dog.
UPS guy is here.
I was wondering what that was.
When the UPS guy is here.
Okay, good.
Well, let's listen to this ad. Hey there.
The most exciting night of the year, and you must get your little one to sleep so Santa can come do his work. Well, sleep till Christmas morning. Santa's lullaby will get the job done. Then you can get down to putting that bike together. Santa will thank you.
You're not asleep. Santa won't come if you make a peep.
Okay. Like a nightmare song?
No.
Oh. What? That's
children.
It's a threat. It's a song. It's a nice threatening song for kids on
threatening
Christmas Eve. Yeah.
Oh, you thought that ad was a little threatening, huh? So,
I thought the song is a little threatening. So
yeah, it's a little threat. You got to force your kid to sleep.
You're making Santa mean.
Yeah. Santa will mock you publicly if you don't go to sleep.
Santa's sneaking through. Well, actually, I wrote it with that concept in mind, that old concept of Santa's watching you sleep, so you better be good.
Yeah.
But then I wanted to make it very sweet. And the song is actually very sweet.
I actually heard this one's good.
But it is that thing. It is that concept. And that's the one that's being played for no money in grocery stores. So if you hear it, let me know.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
You're
Well,
like,
if you hear just the song, it's very sweet. Okay, here we go.
children. Okay.
Don't ever mock my songs. Here we go. So I'm going to give you a marriage tip, and then we'll discuss whether it's true and real. The first marriage tip: the smell of cigarettes is hard to hide. McDonald's breath is harder. So, do you tell? My question here is, when your spouse has breath or other kind of hygienish problems, do you tell them?
I thought this was about hiding that you smoke or went to McDonald's.
That's true. It's about that too. It's about either of those things.
Well, yeah, if your spouse has hygiene problems, you're going to want to tell them. You're going to live with them, for God's sakes. Let's go ahead and make sure they clean up their act. Rumph.
Huh?
What's the question? Was there a question?
There is no question.
Like, if they have bad breath, do you tell them, or do tell them, or don't tell them?
Yeah.
And if they are hiding McDonald's or going to cigarettes, like,
yes,
don't hide it.
Well, and no, if they're hiding that kind of stuff. Well, my question is, the tip is, if they're hiding that stuff, what is the underlying problem of that? Why do you have to hide that stuff? And should you be honest? But no, then my question to you was, like, my wife, if there's a problem with, if I have an eyebrow lash out of the way, if I've got an ear hair, I don't care what it is, it could be the smallest thing in the world, she's going to immediately tell me and probably fix it somehow or stuff like that.
That is our job. That's our job. We have to pay attention.
I do not
going on.
Unless I would know that outwardly other people could really see it, I would not do anything, because I know she would end up fixing it later.
I've worked on cruise ships with you, Brad. You need her. You really do.
I do. No, I totally agree with you on that.
Okay, good. Yeah.
But I don't do that to I don't do that to her. I wouldn't say in public, hey, you need this. You need a breath mint, honey. You don't, I wouldn't do that in public unless I thought she was going to be close to people. Yes. Then maybe I would say, hey, I'm going to have a mint. Hey, you want some mint? I would do it where she's like, man, your breath stinks. Holy crap. What's wrong with you? Here's some mints. You're hurting people out here.
I think that's pretty much the standard norm across the board. Women can point out everything that is wrong with you pretty bluntly, and you are not allowed to point out anything, or it'll be a big argument.
Sure, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tip number 2. These are marriage tips. We're just turning them into
tips.
Oh, they're marriage tips. Okay, well, that last one wasn't even phrased as a tip, but go ahead.
I didn't say this was good. I just said it was something.
Okay, yeah.
Marriage tip. It says, be Starbucks. Bad day. Starbucks need to apologize. Last minute gift. So my thought is that
again, I didn't get that at all.
When you screw something up, are gifts a good idea? Just, hey, here, instead of fixing it and sorry, just showing up with a gift.
No, it's a sorry and a gift.
Okay. And why do you have to do this at Starbucks? I'm not sure. I
think they just chose Starbucks.
If I got this,
is a gift. If you come home, here you go, honey.
If you come home, so wait a minute. If you go to Starbucks and come home with coffee breath, then you're really in trouble. Is that what? What is?
Yeah, are you that you went
really having trouble following this?
If you went to Starbucks and hide it and
back,
and you didn't bring a Starbucks,
bingo. Now you're in trouble.
Well, see, that's the thing. No, I think you feel bad about doing something, so you bring them Starbucks and a gift certificate from Starbucks.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, it depends on what you did. I think usually coffee will take care of it, unless if you really screwed up, maybe the gift certificate. All right, so
these are. I wish I'd have read these ahead of time, but these
because they so far haven't made a bit of sense. Next,
one more, and then because I want to be done by 35 minutes. Okay, one more. Marriage is 5% love, 5% compromise, and 90% knowing when you've already lost an argument.
Okay, where did you get these again? Out of what?
Some marriage.
What's the first 5%?
What?
First 5 is love.
Love, compromise, and 90% knowing when you've already lost the argument.
Yeah, I'm going to say whoever wrote this article is a bitter human being. It's all, yeah.
upside down. That is a upside down.
It sounds to me like somebody lost their marriage over a Starbucks when his wife told him to quit smoking. And listen,
it gets worse. Listen to this. An anniversary lasts a day. A forgotten anniversary survives the eventual heat of the universe and into the afterlife.
Yeah, well, that one that almost does make sense. Yeah.
If you forget it, you'll know. I think Henny Youngman's joke was, how do you remember your wife's birthday? You forget your wife's birthday.
And then you never forget again.
I think that was an old Henny Youngman joke.
Well, I have a friend of mine who actually, his marriage was on his wife's birthday, and he forgot both one year.
That is smart.
Yeah.
But he forgot.
Yeah, but he went into rehab, so he's better now.
Okay.
We're at 35 minutes. We're gonna end the show. I pulled one more. This is the start for next week. Oh my God. How do I tell my husband? Oh wow, I read it wrong because it actually says, how do I tell my husband has a small penis? How do I tell? Not how do I tell him that he has a small penis?
You can tell, so that must be how do I tell him?
No, I have a feeling actually saying, how do I tell my husband has a small penis? Well, we'll discuss what that means next time.
So we're going to have to decipher that, and then
that's going to be quite a road to hoe. That's what I'm thinking.
It'll be a short subject though.
All right, yes. The length of that isn't going to go very far.
No.
It's just going to be.
Yeah, we're tackling the hard issues, so
we are. Yes. That's don't get testicle on it. Okay. Thank you, Donna Wilburn. Go to Ohana Wellness Center and find her if you want. Why does
she put up with us?
I don't know. If you want Joe Marlotti, he's out there
somewhere.
He does comedy, and I do virtual comedy shows, and we can come talk to you and do anything. Please get a hold of me. I'm Brad Tassell. Just look me up on the internet. Thanks, guys.